And gentlemen, caps off. You may all be seated.
Mr. Tony Volpe, Chair of our School Committee, Ms. Sharon DeSisto, Treasurer, PTO, Lieutenant Commander Edward A. Mayberry Jr., our guest speaker, Dr. Richard Moser, Superintendent, Dr. Karen Maza, Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Bernard DiNatale, Director of Technology, Deans, Bernie Battle, Jeff Doherty, Alan Thomas, class advisors, Mary Deislinger and Susan Gauthier, esteemed members of our talented faculty, all distinguished guests, and most appreciated and proud parents, grandparents, family, and friends, I welcome you to our commencement ceremony for the Chelmsford High School class of 1999. Seated before us, adorned in maroon and white caps and gowns, are young people who have distinguished themselves individually by exceptional achievements in academics, in school and community activities, and in athletics. This is a group of students who, through their dedicated service, sincere sensitivity, and their mature motivation, have together created a most supportive and caring learning community for all our students and staff during their 4 years at Chelmsford High School. Seated before us is a most impressive group of individuals, each possessing exceptional talents and an impressive depth of character, Chelmsford High School's class of 1999. This graduating class has excelled in academic and athletic achievements. This class holds the distinction of 12 National Honor finalists and 18 commended National Merit Scholars. This is not only a record at Chelmsford High School, but in the Merrimack Valley, and I would venture there are few schools in the state that can claim that achievement. As individuals, they've performed with distinction on the SAT, with 3 seniors scoring perfect scores on both the math and verbal sections, and as many as 15 seniors scoring at least one perfect score on the SA2 in various subjects such as chemistry, physics, written expression, history, and advanced mathematics. This is the class whose students attained the highest number of fives, the top score attainable on advanced placement exams as juniors, setting another record at Chelmsford High School and in the Merrimack Valley. We eagerly await their scores for the current year. As members of our athletic teams, we had 6 seniors named Players of the Year for the Merrimack Valley. In addition, our senior athletes achieved 9 MVC championships, including cross country, field hockey, swimming and diving, indoor track, basketball, and ice hockey. Our wrestling team won both the MVC championship and the state championship with the support of our senior athletes. You can clap. Through the leadership of our seniors, our baseball team made it to the state tournament, and our girls softball team became Division I North champions just yesterday. While these achievements are extraordinary, it is the behavior of each representative who represented our school with exceptional team spirit and an impressively mature demeanor that certainly strikes a positive tone with all of us. While I do seem to be stressing the impressive talents and achievements of this year's senior class, their true distinction is their modesty and unassuming service to our high school and to our community. If any of you attended the 24-hour relay in Chelmsford this year, you not only witnessed a large contingent of our high school students working as teams towards earning money for town charities, but in particular, there were a large number of students from the class of 1999, young people who would not be receiving the benefit of any of these monies earned, dedicating their time and exceptional energies to help the town and school they so respect. Many of these seniors have shared their talents towards assisting our calculus team to be number 1 in New England, number 3 in the nation, while also earning our math team a county championship in Massachusetts. Our seniors, as members of our school's Junior Engineering Technical Society team, earned our high school first place in the state and second by a slim margin of 3 points in national competition sponsored in partnership with UMass Lowell. Our computer team placed first in the Northern Division, and our school newspaper, The Voice, received a first place rating with the help of senior members. The creative talents of our seniors helped our theater guild to make it to the state competitions for the first time in many years, and our seniors individually earned many awards for their musical talents, with Melissa Consalvo and Gina Paolilli being invited to perform at Carnegie Hall. This class has given all of us, faculty, parents, and townspeople, many reasons to be proud and to be positive. They've also given us reasons to laugh with the creation of such characters as Bulletin Man, alias Ron Rich, with productions as The News Zone with Jim Buckland and Dan Hart, with the gyrations and spirit of Mr. CHS himself, Dom Licapo, and of course, with all those involved with the establishment of Chelmsford's Wrestling Federation. This is the class who chose as their class officers Siraj Afshar as president, Patrick Walsh as vice president, Brian Eastwood as secretary, and Sejin Chan as treasurer, a most dedicated and creative group of leaders. With these class officers and their well-respected and organized class advisors, Miss Mary Deislinger and Miss Susan Gauthier, the class of 1999 set record sales for the senior magazine drive and an impressive show of school spirit during Spirit Week. The academic achievements and service to school and community of this class are symbolized by the impressive resumes of this year's Girl and Boy Student of the Year, Laura Azalina and Patrick Fay. This is a class of many Gold Awards in Girl Scouts and Eagle Awards for Boy Scouts. While this class has indeed experienced many well-earned successes, the senior class has also faced difficult times with the illness of several classmates and the untimely death of their classmate, Billy Taylor, during their junior year. During these emotionally challenging times, the class of 1999 proved that it is a class of much strength of character, as these young people reached out in a most mature and caring manner to the families and friends, to our staff, and to their classmates. At this time, I ask all present tonight to join the class of 1999 in a special tribute to Billy Taylor by observing a moment of silence. Thank you. As you can see, I could go on much longer bragging about this incredibly talented class, and yet I would still be omitting many names and achievements accomplished. And there are still many in this class who have yet to experience their moment in the spotlight. To each of you, I want you to know that your seemingly unnoticed achievements and unrewarded random acts of kindness were as much a part of the outstanding reputation earned by the class of 1999 as those I have already mentioned. In your quiet but positive approach to the opportunities offered by the Chelmsford Public School System, and by achieving a Chelmsford High School diploma, you have taken one major step closer toward your time in the spotlight. For while some of you have experienced the taste of success in our community of Chelmsford High, others of you possess talents and skills which will be recognized in the context of your next journeys towards becoming contributing members of our world community. My only hope is that you will allow our staff at Chelmsford High School to share in these future achievements by visiting us and writing to us often. For you have not yet received your diploma, and already we are missing you. Because of the character of this class, the faculty, Mr. Doherty, Mr. Battle, Mr. Thomas, and I have had, as your song says, the time of our lives, and we owe it all to you. and to all those who continue to talk about the crisis in public education today, I present to you the most damaging evidence to your fabricated claim. I present to you this talented, academic, athletic, enthusiastic Chelmsford High School class of 1999. And now, to begin our program, I call to the stage a very close friend of our salutatorian, a young lady who also has distinguished herself academically and through her sharing of talents at Chelmsford High School, Samantha Malamed.
I'll never forget the day, sophomore year, when I walked into Chelmsford High School and saw the walls plastered with signs protesting the use of and warning of the looming evils of calculators. I wasn't sure if it was a joke or if it was serious, but then I found out that it was just Chirag Baines standing up for what he believed in. That was the first day that I realized that there was a lot more to Chirag, or Tony as he is also known, than meets the eye. His hard work and success have been visible, but it is his personality and his active interest in and concern for the world around him that set him apart from the rest. Plenty of things are obvious. His intelligence and academic achievement are what made him salutatorian. Just reading through the voice provides testimony to the dedication and the long hours that he put in there. And a look at the Lowell Sun or the Independent might show his success on the tennis court as co-captain and #1 singles player for the varsity team. However, once you get past this resume to the human being behind it, what you will find is a young man with an incredible sense of humor and clarity of perception. Chirag has always amazed me with his ability to see through to the heart of any situation, and then again with the boldness that allows him to comment on it with unmitigated sarcasm. Though his words are sometimes teasing jabs at friends, they are completely in earnest when it comes to more serious topics. He could talk to you for hours about injustices in Mexico and convince you to fight for the Zapatista cause. And he could tell you anything that you want to know about music. He could fascinate you with a conversation about a book he read or an activist speech that he heard. In the spirit of a true teacher, he has never heard of a stupid question and is always willing to provide answers and advice. In school and out, he freely shares his vast knowledge, insights, and interests. But most importantly, Chirag has been an incredible friend to me and to many. In his own way, he supports so many of our class and is generous with his time and energy. He has always been there for me and others to provide advice, inspiration, and a shoulder to cry on. That is why it is my pleasure to introduce an incredible student, athlete, and friend, Chirag Baines, salutatorian of the CHS class of 1999.
Thank you, Sam. So, here we are, the class of '99, touted as perhaps the most successful class the high school has ever seen. National Merit Scholars, state champions, concert musicians, hyperactive treasurers, a class of sincere and dedicated students who, with the guidance of teachers and parents, have conquered high school. So what's next? What's our next challenge? Our hard work had to lead to something. It did. In the world of freedom and independence that lies ahead, we will meet our greatest test, Can we, as youth, maintain our convictions and stay true to our desires as we seek to find out who we are? I have no doubt that everyone here can and will be successful with a little bit of hard work. I expect our class reunions to be gatherings of happily married couples and prosperous professionals, as our high school achievements will be magnified in years to come. But I'm not addressing success today. I am more concerned with greatness. Greatness is a potentiality within all of us. It is that need to shatter the goals we have set for ourselves, that internal scream of hunger to achieve far beyond wealth and stability that is too often suffocated by other concerns. Sure, we all have practical, financial concerns, and many of us will find happiness and inner peace when we settle down with a family. But now is no time for peace. Just trust me here. Now is the time to go through hell to achieve your deepest dreams, those hidden beneath all of your everyday choices. Now is the time to play the visionary fool, the one who sets pragmatism aside and chases after seemingly unattainable goals. We all have dramatic dreams. Some of us want to be professional musicians or athletes. Others want to devote their lives to writing or debating, and still others aspire to winning the Nobel Prize or even becoming president. The problem with these goals, as I've been told, and I'm sure you have, is that they are too impractical, too improbable. The chances might be 1 in 100,000 that you'll achieve them. So why waste your time and hard work on something that may bring you only bitterness? Here we have the main obstacle in our lives. Do we reach naively toward the sun and push away the image of Icarus falling to his death? Or do we shake ourselves back to reality and resign to comfort and stability? Well, at this stage in life, we must chase our dreams. In fact, it would be treacherous and even averse to the very nature of youth to give up. Down-to-earth thinking and worrying about life 20 years ahead is not for us, at least not in terms of the innocence and faith that young people have in their own ability to excel. And greatness is not achieved through moderation either. We cannot half-heartedly dedicate ourselves to its pursuit. The Michael Jordans, John Glenn's, and William Shakespeare's of the world put their entire souls into their work, just as our championship sports teams and outstanding scholars did. There's even a measure of iconoclasm in greatness. We may have to break convention and hazard everything we have built to succeed. Thus, one of our main obstacles will be enduring in the strive for greatness. Every graduating senior before me can attain his most obscure goals, and he will find that the joy and the meaning lie in the struggle to achieve, not in the achievement itself. And of course, inner peace will follow. On the way to greatness, however, we must be sure to avoid self-destruction by tempering our ambition with concern for common values. As we fulfill one duty of youth in pursuing the impractical, we must also fulfill a second duty of questioning what is wrong with the world and fighting to correct it. Too often we are motivated solely by personal concerns. Greatness is not complete, however, without the expanded goal of furthering society. When I heard of the spurt of shootings across the country earlier this year, all I could think was that our generation had to end the strife. That is why it's our duty to seek out and to solve problems such as violence, racism, human rights violations, and corruption in government. We as young people have the necessary energy, the passion, and the fury to protest such injustices and to fight them. We are innocent, still untainted by failure or by the concession that we are just individual human beings, just individual people who cannot make a difference. Years from now, on the other hand, we may be content with our cozy lifestyles and loath to upset our happy lives. Thus, we must regain that disposition to reform that was so evident in past generations. Students have staged walkouts against the Vietnam War. Others wore black armbands in protests, and hundreds of thousands gathered at the great demonstration of Woodstock that served to unite people behind a common cause. Now, I'm not calling to congregate in the farms of New York, smoke marijuana as a bonding activity, and stage a rock concert in protest of some evil. Rather, we must intensify community efforts, like the 24-hour relay or the Life Games, and then tackle larger external issues. We need to become a brand of fiery reformers, people who are not afraid to set material goals aside and to stand up for their views. The world is crying out for young people who can succeed in life, but who will not be wholly consumed by selfish affairs. The world craves our shrill cry of protest, our sharp accusation of betrayal. We must become more daring and less self-conscious, more aware of our surroundings and less concerned with personal pleasure. We must become invigorated, live life with a passion, and root out corruption in the tradition of youth. Thus, we have a duality to which it will be difficult to adhere. Respect ourselves and refuse to subvert our lifelong passions, but also respect others and uphold what we believe in. I am confident that the class of '99 is up to the task. Thank you and good luck next year.
Now it is my pleasure to introduce a young man who has helped to lead the class of 1999 through a remarkably successful senior year, the very popular president of the class of 1999, Siraj Afshar.
Well, first of all, before I give you my little speech, on behalf of the class of 1999, I'd like to present our class gift to Mr. Meidel, if you'd like to step forward, please. The class of 99 is going to build a new message board out in front of the school with interior lights and new graphics. Thank you.
I am most delightful to accept this gift from the class of 1999 and feel it is very symbolic of this class, because not only have you made great achievements, but you also helped to communicate the wonderful things that happen at Chelmsford High School. And this will be a legacy to all of you, and it will continue to remind us, lest we forget, what a wonderful class you are. Thank you.
Now I can talk to you guys. I stand here honored to be our president. I can truly say this class is representative of a full spectrum of talent and resources. I can look into all your faces and see star athletes, award-winning artists, creative problem solvers, powerful academic minds, leaders, and musicians. A lot of you are also dozing off. It's okay. However, these distinctions have only brought us together. Every time we are together, we all learn from each other, sharing our own talents and trying others. Some of these creative talents were proven at the Halloween dance, when dressing up as the opposite gender wasn't as hard or uncomfortable as some people thought it would be. Actually, some people found it quite comfortable. You know who you are. These talents were again displayed during the magazine drive, when many of us were whipped into a fanatic frenzy and became the best door-to-door salesman in New England, raising the record amount of sales at CHS ever. And now we have approached that time where these talents can be focused into our dreams and goals, bringing them into reality. We have become adults, and with many new freedoms. I have a friend who came up to me the day he turned 18 and said, Dude, I can finally buy, well, you know what he would mean, but that's one freedom we can choose, or as we all have the chance and opportunity and free will to shape the world we live in. We have shed the confines of adolescence and have donned the responsibilities of adulthood. It's kind of scary. We can be the first generation to be free of hate, to demonstrate love instead of anger, to be a positive role model in our communities, and to treat everyone we meet as our best friend. We can be the first to put an end to the blind imitation of the past and create a world where fellowship and trust can be developed. That same kind of fellowship I found within this class. Youth can move the world. Success, however, will not come easily. Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, "When a resolute young man or woman steps up to the great bully, the world, and takes him boldly by the beard, he's often surprised to find it comes off in his hand, and that it was only tied on to scare away timid adventurers. Face life head on, and it will be scared of you." I challenge everyone and myself as we go off to college, work, and then the future, to face that bully, to conquer it, and prove to the world the stuff this class is made of. I'd like to thank the faculty of CHS for their sincere efforts toward nurturing this class, all 4 years, and some even all 12 years. I'd like to thank the parents for supporting us in every single crazy and stupid thing we've done and make it a learning process. There's never going to be another class like this, the last class of the millennium. Good luck, class of 99. I'm going to miss you guys. And now I would like to introduce the incoming president of the class of 2000, Sui Yu. On behalf of the class of 1999, I'd like to present to you the gavel, which is a symbol of authority, power, leadership, and respect. Use it wisely, my son.
Thanks. Thank you, Suraj. Tonight, I stand before you, the class of 99, in complete awe and admiration. Your achievements in academics and athletics have been unbelievable. You have demonstrated immense character, integrity, and leadership for the rest of us to follow. On behalf of the class of 2000, I thank you for being such a great example. You are a unique class and have taken your own unique path to success. We cannot follow this path, for it is built for you. However, your guidance and support have allowed us to develop our own unique path. This path will hopefully lead us to your prosperous results. So, class of 99, congratulations on all your past accomplishments, and good luck in all your future endeavors. I know you will continue to make Chelmsford High School proud. Thank you.
I am now proud to introduce an educational leader who is able to maintain a vision for the future without losing sight of the importance of serving the individual needs of each of our students today. Through his creative efforts and advocacy for change, Chelmsford High School has been able to set the standard statewide for effective programs which prepare our students for an ever-changing global society. It is my pleasure and honor to introduce my colleague and mentor, Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Richard Moser.
Thank you very much. It is my responsibility and my honor every year to introduce the speaker for our graduation, and I consider it a great honor to do that. But before I do that today, I'd like to take just a couple minutes and offer my own personal congratulations to the class of 99. The listing of achievements that Mr. Meidel read in the very beginning of the ceremony is very impressive. It's impressive every year, but this year in particular, I know our administration, our staff, and parents are very proud of this class, and we wish you all the best, and I'm very proud to be your superintendent. I know your achievements take a lot of self-motivation. They take a lot of push from parents and a lot of support from parents that are all here this evening. But it also takes a lot of support and guidance and effort and extra work on the part of our faculty. So I would really like to honor people over here to my left at this moment and lead a round of applause for their effort in working with you. This is a very special speaker today in a lot of different ways. Number one, because Lieutenant Commander Edward Mayberry is a Chelmsford High School graduate of the class of 1981, and he's been very involved in the Chelmsford Public Schools since that time, and it's a pleasure to have him here today to talk to us about his achievements and give you some guidance into your future. Lieutenant Commander Edward Mayberry is a 1981 graduate from Chelmsford, and like many of you, he was a very active student when he was a member of our graduating class and for 4 years at Chelmsford High School. Participated in cross-country and track, National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, Student of the Month, Student of the Year, and on goes the list of accolades and achievements for Edward Mayberry. After graduating from Chelmsford High School, he attended Holy Cross, graduated in 1985 with a BA in physics and a minor in naval science. For his graduate work immediately after graduating from Holy Cross, he attended the Uniformed Services University of the Health Sciences Medical School, where he studied to be an anesthesiologist. 1989 through 1990, in his pre-residency internship in the Naval Hospital of Bethesda, Maryland. He served as the Naval Flying Club Safety Officer of 1994 through 1996, and in 1996 he completed his residency with the Naval Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland. He became a staff anesthesiologist at the Bethesda Naval Medical Center and at the Beaufort Naval Hospital in Beaufort, South Carolina. Along the way, Edward has received airborne wings after learning how to parachute at Fort Benning in 1986. He received flight surgeon wings in 1991. He has flown over 70 hours as a co-pilot in a variety of aircraft. He experienced sea time aboard nuclear-powered submarines, cruisers, and some of our largest amphibious ships. And most recently, he received the Navy Achievement Medal in February of 1999. His personal interests include, and this is pretty impressive actually, since 1981 when he was the disc jockey for the after prom breakfast, he's participated as the disc jockey every year in Chelmsford High School except 1991 when he was busy doing all sorts of other things. He's been coaching in the YMCA soccer program. He's has an avid diving background. He has 300 hours as a private pilot. He was inducted into the Chelmsford High School Hall of Fame. He's a member of the Chelmsford High School Alumni Association. And we're proud to say that he plans to return to New England with his wife, Lisa, and his children, Edward, who's 4 years of age, and Shaylin, who's 2 years of age, when Navy time is completed approximately 18 months from now. Edward is truly a remarkable Chelmsford High School graduate, a wonderful role model for men and women sitting in front of me. Let's give a warm Chelmsford welcome to Lieutenant Commander Edward Mayberry.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Moser, for that kind introduction there. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, my fellow alumni, the class of 1999, it is a pleasure to be with you here this evening. You know, 15 years ago, if you asked a physician to give a commencement address, you'd be guaranteed of a fairly lengthy speech. This is, however, 1999, the era of HMOs, managed care, and the 10-minute office visit. In that spirit, I will keep my remarks brief. There will, however, be no copay and no shots at the end of this talk. I was very honored when the class offered me the opportunity to talk to you today. It actually took me back a little bit, and I thought for a few minutes, why did the class ask me to come and talk today? You know, I'm certainly not a media personality. You know, you don't buy my CDs or read my books. And despite the kind works of Dr. Moser, if you take a look through my high school yearbook, you're not going to find my name next to the most likely to succeed, most athletically gifted, most academically gifted, prom king, none of those things. And I think that's the point. In many ways, I represent the majority of you out there. And the path I took was one of many paths that lay in front of you right now. I'd like to pass on to you some of my observations from that path, and perhaps they can be helpful to you as you go down your own path. You know, Sergey talked a little bit about youth today, and in preparing my remarks, I came across an interesting article talking about contemporary youth. That is indeed what we are today. You are. And let me read you verbatim what it said. Our youth love luxury. They have bad manners, contempt for authority. They show disrespect to their elders and love to chatter in place of exercise. Children are no tyrants, not the servants of their households. They no longer rise when their elders enter the room. They contradict their parents, chatter before company, gobble up their food, and tyrannize their teachers. I see a few smiles of recognition out there to that. That was written by Socrates in 400 BC. There is nothing new under the sun, is there? I'll tell you, I wish the real world would just stop hassling me. I mean, doesn't that lyric just grab you? I wish the real world would just stop hassling me. I mean, how often do you feel like that, you know? I mean, after school activities, jobs, one thing after another. It just doesn't stop, does it? You know, and the bad news is it's going to get worse. Well, I want you to come with me into that real world. Come with me into that real world and stand next to me in the back of a big green Marine Corps helicopter hovering over a mountainside in northern Iraq. Stand next to me and hug your flak jacket close to your body, comforted by the thought that it was made by the lowest bidder, and people are slinging real lead your way. Our mission today is a humanitarian one. It's to deliver food to the starving refugees. You know, we don't dare land our helicopter. Our buddies tried that last week and they were inundated by the refugees. So we hover 40 feet off the mountainside. Stand next to me and kick the food out to the starving people below you. And watch as the men kick and claw their way by the women and children to get to the food first. It's amazing what an empty stomach does to us. But you know, we don't have to go to northern Iraq and Turkey or Kosovo today. Come take a walk with me down the Acre here in Lowell, or take a walk down Gorham Street. And see the havoc that chemical dependency wreaks upon our community. Indeed, look in our own homes. Often not as pretty a sight as we'd like them to be. I wish the real world would just stop hassling me. No, I submit to you that Matchbox 20 has got it wrong. I hope the real world hassles you and continues to hassle you, because that's the only way we're going to do anything about it. You know, but what will you do about it? You know, I mean, when you leave here, is the most important thing how much money you're going to make? You know, there are no U-Hauls at funerals. You can't take it with you literally. One of the privileges of my job is to be with people as they spend their last days, hours, and minutes on this earth. And I'll tell you, they aren't asking for their accountants. They're asking for their families. You know, what will you do? Let's face it, you and I are from Chelmsford. Chelmsford's a small town in a small state, in a huge country, in a big, big world. What difference will you make in it? You know, we already hear about your civic effort. It's impressive. You know, the food pantry, the Haitian relief effort, the blood drives, impressive civic involvement, an impressive start. But how will what you've had here at Chelmsford High School impact your life? Certainly impossible to predict. I sat where you sit right now. Flash forward now 10 years. Flash forward to a small emergency room in rural North Carolina. My patient is in pain and he's afraid. You see, he's an illegal farm worker from some country in South America, here illegally. He doesn't belong here. He doesn't belong here, and his hand that didn't belong in front of that poorly maintained piece of farm machinery. But nonetheless, there he stands, minus his hand, the means by which he feeds himself and his family. Imagine yourselves in a foreign country, illegally, badly injured. Donde es el dolor? Where is the pain? Nosotros cuidamos a usted. We will take care of you, I tell him in my broken high school Spanish. Instant connection, instant relief, instant understanding that at some level I understood who he was, a little bit about his culture, a little bit about where he came from. My high school Spanish teacher reaching through the years and the miles to impact someone from far away. You know, you leave here with several things today. Your education is certainly something you get from CHS. You know, we give you a tangible piece of that today. We give you the diploma up here. You know, my dad always reminds me that education is something that can't be taken from you. And I think that's good advice. You know, get as many of these pieces of paper as you can get, be they diplomas, certificates, whatever it is. These things take you far in life. But you know, you leave with something much more important. You leave with a sense of integrity. Integrity is part and parcel of the philosophy of Chelmsford High School from the minute you step foot in the door till the minute you leave. American heritage tells us integrity is adherence to a code of behavior. But you know, it's much more than that, the way it's articulated in Chelmsford High School. You know, when Jack Fletcher's teaching us how to dig a puck out of the corner, he's not teaching us how to elbow the other person to get that puck. When Bill Chrisman is trying to make us win the track meet, he's teaching us to give everything we can out there on the track and then some. Not how to shave points and win the meet. You know, in the biology lab, Bernie Queenan isn't teaching us rote memorization of biological structures. He's teaching us to appreciate how function follows form, appreciate the beauty of those biological structures. You know, Mike Tate isn't teaching you how to gun deck the results so you get the right answer in your science experiment. No, he's teaching you how to understand the process that we're looking at. You know, integrity. You know, in the Navy we call this honor, courage, and commitment, but it's the same thing. Integrity, you know, honesty in your personal, professional, and academic dealings. That's something that only you can give away. The price is far too high. Your trust and the ability of people to trust you is what you lose forever. You know, a lot of you are off to college. I was really impressed when I saw the numbers. You know, it's better than my class, actually. They say about 90% of you are going on to college, about 10% of you to various other important things. And let me suggest to you one strategy as you enter that much more demanding, stressful life that you'll be entering. And that is to get into a regular habit of exercise. That was very powerful for myself as I entered the more stressful years that you're entering right now. You know, the cardiologists tell us just 20 minutes 3 times a week is all you need, you know. And it doesn't really make a difference what you do. You know, for some of you it's going to be team sports, maybe going on and taking a run. For my wife, it's teaching kickboxing at the YMCA. Whatever it is for you, get in the habit of doing it. It'll make you feel better. It'll make you look better. It'll make you live longer. Start tomorrow. It's a worthy thing to do. But you know, I'd like to leave you with one last piece of advice here, and it's not about sunscreen. And that is, don't sweat the small stuff. You know, this is a lesson that's taught to me on a daily basis by my little boy and girl. Don't sweat the small stuff. Richard Carlson wrote a whole series of books on this, a very powerful concept. And the idea is not that you don't need to pay attention to detail and work hard and research the things you're going to do. You know, you need to do all those things to be successful. Sweating the small stuff is perseverating over the details of the decisions we make. What school did you choose? What major are you going to choose? What job did you take? You know, as if you have some control over the eventual outcome. A wise professor told me many years ago that 50% of what he taught me was wrong. He just didn't know what 50% it was. Think about that next time you visit your doctor, huh? But the point is well taken, and it applies to decisions we make too. At least half of what happens to us is because of chance, things we have no control over. Perseverating over the small stuff is losing what we call in aviation situational awareness. You know, you lose sight of the forest for the trees. You know, you're like the crew of that airliner that focused on that little bulb that blew out in the dash. All three of them looking at that little insignificant bulb as they drove their jetliner into the Florida Everglades and killed everyone on board. True story. Perseverating over the small stuff, sweating the small stuff, robs us of some of the most important things we have ahead of us. And that's our ability to seize the day and enjoy the journey. Congratulations, all of you, and the best of luck.
Ed, having had the pleasure of knowing you when you were a student at Chelmsford High School, the class of 1981, I'm not surprised by your insight and your words of wisdom for our class of 1999. I now have the pleasure of presenting to you an honorary diploma making you an honorary member of the distinguished class of 1999. And now to introduce the valedictorian of the class of 1999, I invite to the podium a good friend of our valedictorian, a young man who has shared his exceptional academic achievements and even his ability to speak Russian in service to Chelmsford High School. I introduce Felix Lurie.
Wow, Lieutenant Commander Mayberry's speech is definitely a difficult one to follow. I'm glad I just have some introductory remarks. As we go through life, all of us will have important phone numbers that we will always remember. Your own, of course, your parents', maybe the pizza place down the street. But one phone number that I will always remember is 256-0967. That's because it's Mark Kolba's phone number. I've probably called it about 1,000 times since I met Mark way back in the 6th grade. He was a scrawny, quiet kid back then, tall for his age, of course. He hasn't changed much. Although I had met Mark the year before, I first began to know him when we were in Mrs. White's Algebra 1 class in 7th grade. That year, Mark and I remained what you might call in-class friends. You know those people that you always see in school but never really do anything with outside of school. That's the way Mark and I were for a while. We first began to grow close in 8th grade. He was shy but friendly, and we grew to like each other. And from there it began. Pizza at my house, talking on the phone, you know how it goes. Over time, I began to realize how lucky I was to have such a good friend. Whether I needed help with chemistry, had a question about the next day's math test, or just wanted a friendly chat, Mark was always there for me. All throughout high school, we have grown closer. We've continued to enrich each other's lives. Mark has made me a better student and harder worker than I ever could have been without him. And I've always tried to give back where I could, taking him places he never would have gone, sometimes half forcing him to try new things, whatever it may have been. But more than anything, I will never forget how much Mark has helped me both in school and out of school. He has always been patient with me, which I know is not a very easy thing to do. Indeed, I think that most of Mark's closest friends believe, as I do, that above all, Mark is everyone's helper. If I asked everyone who has ever gotten help from Mark to raise their hands, I wouldn't be surprised to see a sea of 100 arms in front of me. Mark is always willing to help other people in any way he can. Despite his incredible intellect, he has always remained a humble, well-spoken person. He has come out of his middle school shell and has become very social and very often quite funny. Over the years, Mark has become more and more well-rounded. Sure, you can see him studying in the library, but almost as often you can see him dominating his competition on the basketball court. Trust me, I know. I never play against him anymore because he dunked on me last time, and it's not good. You can see him at the Walk for Hunger and at every school dance. On Sundays, Mark is in church, and on Fridays and Saturdays, he is out with his friends. That is, if he's not on the phone helping somebody with something. I will always remember what a great friend Mark has been to me and to everyone all these years. And I really feel that anyone who has been lucky enough to know Mark should feel just that. Very lucky. So without further ado, I present to you your valedictorian and my friend, Mark Philip Kolba.
Thank you, Felix. Success. Success is so desirable, so sought after by people of all times and from all places. But what is success, and how do we achieve it? I'm certain that if we asked everyone in this room what success means to him or her, we would get many different answers. To some, success is making lots of money. To others, it is being famous, being respected, or being happy. Still others see success as having an influential job, or as preparing children to face the world and to lead happy lives. Indeed, success can take on all of these different meanings. But regardless of what we each see success to be, we are still left with the question, how do we achieve it? For us to achieve success, the first ingredient must be hard work. Success will not come to us, no matter how long we wait. We must be willing to give the sweat, the blood, the tears, to accept the headaches, and to put up with the blisters. And we must be willing to put in the time. Success will not come overnight. As comedian Eddie Cantor once said, it takes 20 years to make an overnight success. The second ingredient in achieving success is commitment. We must always be focused on our goals and be striving towards them. It does no good to sprinkle mediocrity with sporadic flashes of brilliance. Those few bright spots will be swallowed up by the gloom of their mediocre surroundings. Instead, we must always aim for brilliance, always give our best effort. True commitment is a complete and total dedication of our time, our resources, and our efforts towards achieving success. This idea is clearly revealed in the following short encounter. A woman rushed up to famed violinist Fritz Kreisler after a concert and cried, "I'd give my life to play as beautifully as you do." Kreisler replied, "I did." The third, and perhaps most important ingredient in achieving success is support. Try as we might, we cannot lift a boulder by ourselves. Others must help us. And so it is with success. We cannot achieve success alone. We need others to stand by our side, to help us through difficult times, or sometimes just to help share the work. A company, for instance, cannot be run by one man, for there is simply too much work to be done. Similarly, we often need guidance and advice from those around us. A CEO has advisors to help him make decisions, and regular workers have group members and co-workers to advise them. Hard work, commitment, and support. These are the three primary components in achieving success. It is through hard work, commitment, and support that we have found success in our high school years. The very fact that we are graduating today is a testament to that success. We are here because we have succeeded in high school. We have navigated the sometimes treacherous academic maze of high school and emerged triumphant on the other side. This has not been done easily, but through hard work. Just as a donkey doesn't move very fast, resting on our own personal donkeys won't get us very far. We've got to get up, get ourselves in gear, and get moving. And we have all done that. We have all worked hard for 4 years, and that hard work has come to fruition today. 4 years is a long time. By working so diligently and purposefully over the last 4 years towards our goal of graduation, we have shown great commitment. And if we step back from high school to look at the completion of our schooling from kindergarten to 12th grade, we're now talking about 13 years. If 4 years is a long time, 13 is much more so. We have committed ourselves for 13 years to going to school, to learning, to doing worksheets, to doing homework, to doing projects, but always to learning. Now, if that isn't commitment, I don't know what is. And our commitment extends beyond the world of academia as well. Some of us graduating today are committed athletes who have played a sport for as long as we can remember and have always been practicing, always working, always striving to excel and to perform better than we ever have before. Some of us are musicians who have been playing the violin since the 2nd grade and who have spent countless hours practicing and practicing until we can play a piece just so and give joy and pleasure to others through the playing of our beautiful music. And some of us are actors or writers or math leaguers or volunteers. We are student representatives or class officers or hard and dedicated workers at our jobs. We devote incredibly large amounts of time to these activities. That too is hard work. That too is commitment. And that too yields success. In our high school years, not only have we shown hard work and success, but we have also received support. Our high school is like a family. Mr. Meidel, the deans, our teachers, they are like parents who have helped us, guided us, directed us, and occasionally been forced to keep us in line, but not too often. We are like caring siblings, occasionally having the odd skirmish or two, but on the whole providing an overwhelming body of support and encouragement for each other. We are truly a community of support. We have cheered our sports teams on to victory at, say, a Thanksgiving Day football game. We have come together as a class to set a new record for the magazine drive. And we have also supported each other during difficult times. We have comforted each other at the deaths of friends, beloved members of our high school family. We have been there for each other when we were feeling depressed or lonely. After the disturbing and saddening violence at Columbine High School, we pulled even closer together and supported each other even more, as if to say to the world, look at us. Look at what we can do if we support each other. That very support from ourselves, from our school parents, and from our real parents is the driving force behind our being at graduation here today. It is a major part of what has made us successful. Isaac Newton once said, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." Now let me paint a picture for you. Imagine the flagpole out in front of CHS. Over the past 4 years, you have designed and made a flag that you must affix to the top of the flagpole in order to graduate. You have tried climbing the flagpole by yourself, but you can't get very far up before you slide back down again. Now picture in your mind the many people who have supported you during your high school career. Imagine them forming a human pyramid, stretching up towards the top of the flagpole. You begin to climb up this human pyramid, and you are soon standing at the top. You're surprised to find yourself at eye level with the top of the flagpole. You reach out, and with a sigh of satisfaction and pride, fasten your flag to the flagpole. You have done it. And how have you done it? You have succeeded through the hard work involved in making the flag and in climbing the pyramid. You have succeeded through the commitment shown in your tireless labor on the flag and in your unwillingness to give up. You have succeeded through the support of your friends, parents, brothers, sisters, relatives, teachers, administrators, and pastors. Today, we are graduating from Chelmsford High School. We should be very proud of ourselves. We have been successful. But our success in high school is just the beginning. We will go on from here to become doctors, musicians, athletes, engineers, auto mechanics, novelists, poets, soldiers, officers, plumbers, executives, homemakers, congressmen, and teachers. With hard work, commitment, and support, we can be whatever we want to be. We can succeed wherever we want to succeed. Our future years will be filled with success. With hard work, commitment, and support, there is no goal, no dream that is too high for us to reach. Thank you.
Our schools continue to offer the best opportunities for all students to not only reach their graduation day, but to be prepared to enter the world of tomorrow. Providing the best educational program for the future involves difficult decisions and the continued efforts of our community. In Chelmsford, we are fortunate to have a school committee made up of individuals dedicated to providing the best that public education can offer. I now ask you to give a warm welcome to the chairperson of our school committee, Mr. Tony Volpe.
It's very difficult to follow such a rousing and thought-provoking talk as you've given, Mark. I thank you. So I'm going to attempt to be very brief, but I want to share a few thoughts with you. On behalf of Chelmsford and the Chelmsford School Committee, I wish to extend the congratulations and best wishes to the class of 1999 for a very bright and happy future. You have arrived. This is the day you have made. This is commencement. Today is an ending and a new beginning. In a few minutes, you will receive a diploma signifying your hard work and your accomplishment. This is the end of one chapter, but only the beginning of the rest of the story. This is the book of your life. Embark on an adventuresome journey. Be creative, be imaginative, be bold. But most of all, do not be afraid to choose a path, a walkway, a road. The American poet Robert Frost, by the way, one of our own in the Merrimack Valley who graduated from the Lawrence Public Schools, describes a journey upon a road. In his poem, The Road Not Taken, he describes a choice that he will make. He realizes he must take one path or the other. But which one? The question begs an answer. Depending on the road he chooses, he will have varied and different experiences. But he must choose. In time, his choice will give him insight into the decisions of his life. He writes, "Two roads diverged in a yellow wood. And sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood, and both equally lay. Yet knowing how way leads to way, somewhere ages hence, I doubt if I should ever come back. But the two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the less traveled by, and that has made all the difference." Once you have made the decision toward a course of action, a path, that road, if you will, stay the course. Our 26th president, Theodore Roosevelt, who was a great literary personality of the late 19th and 20th century, a proponent of progressivism and women's suffrage in his writings, comments thus: "Credit goes to the one who is actually in the arena, who spends one life in a worthy cause, who at best knows the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he or she should fail, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his or her place will never be with those who neither know victory nor defeat." President Roosevelt's comments lead to other sentiments which indicate the ability to separate your desire and your action, to know where you are going and to strike out for the course, the goal, the end of the adventure, and the beginning of new chapters in your story. This is your story. Take note of a comment from the former great Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher of Great Britain: "You may have to fight the battle more than once to win." I'm going to end, and most of you know me that I sing, but I'm not going to sing. But yeah, okay. The final words that I give to you are words of encouragement, and they come from the musical play The Man of La Mancha, and they are paraphrased. The character Don Quixote muses: "To dream that impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to run where the brave dare not go. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless and no matter how far. To fight for the right without question or pause, to march for that heavenly cause. The world will be better for this, that you strove with the last ounce of your courage to reach that unreachable star." Graduates, in a few moments, get your diploma, get on your road, make your choices, strive for your goals. This is your adventure. You make the story in the chapters of your book. Reach for the stars. Congratulations.
I'm going to make a quick change in the program. Mr. Thomas, Mr. Doherty, and Mr. Battle and I were going to sing a song, but we've decided against that. Quick learners. To emphasize the importance of parents and the achievements symbolized by your diploma from Chelmsford High School, each year we ask a member of the executive board of our high school PTO to assist in handing out the diplomas. This year, Mrs. Sharon DeSisto, treasurer of the Chelmsford High School PTO, will be assisting. And now the moment you all have been patiently waiting for, the conferring of your diplomas.
Laura Beth Azalina. Elizabeth Ann Barrett. Catherine Elizabeth Bleck. Rachel Elizabeth Bowen. Heather Ann Callery. Shanthiran Chia. Stacy Marie Claremont. Okay. Kristen Elise Craig. Caitlin Marie Crocker. Michelle Marie Cullinane. Kristen Nicole D. Carolyn K. DePoyen. Lynn Marie Dolson. Adela Fidova. Kathleen Ingham Farrell. Catherine Paige Gardner. Sarah Elizabeth Gabriel. Jessica Susan Gamel. Katie Ellen Gould. Jennifer Irene Harding. Angela Sigliano Killalay. Caitlin Stacy Click. Melissa Erlene Lauren. Kristen Ann Learson. Karen Marie Mamalis. Alexandra Lynn Marchetta. Rebecca Jean Martell. Jamie Lee Martin. Lauren Jean Michaluk. Jessica Leora Moreno. Hoi Huang Linda Nguyen. Megan Fitzgerald Palmer. Gina Marie Paoli. Ashling Mary Parham. Leah Marie Peralt. Alexandra Marie Fair. Danielle Susan Phillips. Kelly Francis Reardon. Megan Michelle Robinson. Heather Joy Rubenstein. Carrie Ann Russo. Helena Nicole Safran. Christine Ellen Salvucci. Katie Evelina Shope. Megan Elizabeth Smith. Amy Lynn Stoner. Caitlin Eileen Sullivan. Suman Sureshababu. Melissa Sue Svensson. Catherine Meehan Turco. Joan Marie Van Korbeck. Kathleen Ann Walsh. Annie Ijen Wang. Stephanie Sarah Wu. Elizabeth Catherine Arndorfer. Nicole Michelle Bagney. Kristen Michelle Baino. Sarah Ann Batchelder. Sarah Gail Brown. Heather Courtney Callahan. Linda Marie Carr. Shannon Marie Conrad. Catherine Marie Crawford. Brandy Leah Dobbins. Melissa Lane Donahue. Holly Ann Driscoll. Heidi Sue Eckhart. Erica Estelle Flory. Christine Alicia Gervais. Amy Suzanne Giannoni. April Glod. Tracy Alexis Gunaris. Amanda Gail Hall. Lauren Elizabeth Hanlon. Lauren Hollis Hannaford. Christine Nalon Hardy. Erin Eliza Hayes. Laura Elizabeth Held. Stacy Marie Heron. Kristen Marie Higgins. Catherine Grace Hill. Carrie Lynn Ivers. Stephanie Marie Johnson. Michelle Lee Jones. April Dawn Casey. Nadia Sarah Katan. Erin Marie Cohane. Jennifer Lee Kiernan. Emily and Vitas Kokoven. Adrian Nicole Lampplow. Karen Marie Lemaire. Courtney Elizabeth Linehan. Kristen Marie Lomica. Laurie Ann Lucatoni. Mara Elizabeth Mangan. Holly Victoria Mason. Bridget Anna McCormick. Samantha Alexis Malamed. Meredith Merrill. Dory Lynn Michael. Kristen Ann Morrison. Beth Ann Muir. Elizabeth Ann Murphy. Rebecca Ann Newt. Noreen Bridget O'Shaughnessy. Gloria Palillo. Parul Patel. Nina Marie Pelly. Elizabeth Carol Price. Kristen Patrice Quinn. Marsha Ann Shattuck. Andrea Nicole Silva. Christy Lynn Simmons. Andrea Dawn Styling. Jocelyn Ray Stott. Deborah Miriam Terrace. Katie Mitchell True. Chrysanthi George Singos. Sarah Ann Wiener. Alyssa Marie Willett. Ray Wu. Dawn Marie Allen. Heidi Michelle Baez. Deepika Baines. Michelle Bethany Bottleson. Deborah Ann Bishop. Samantha Lane Busfield. Jennifer Marie Campbell. Melissa Moran Consalvo. Jessica Lee DeAngelis. Leanne Yolanda DeSisto. Kimberly Ann Dishman. Jessica Beth Dockendorf. Kelly Margaret Donahue. Elizabeth Ann Drake. Erica Ann Gabriel. Tarendeep Kaur Gandhi. Jill Frances Gardner. Sarah Marie Glatt. Elissa Rachel Hamilton. Allison Maureen Hession. Jessica Hill. Jennifer Lee Hogan. Carrie Marie Hubby. Mary Ellen Kastranakis. Jamie Rachel Kopp. Janelle Lauren Kidd. Christine Beth Liss. Jamie Ann Loisel. Kimberly Joanne McKenzie. Rhonda Lee McCullen. Sarah Elizabeth Morse. Alyssa Faye Moyer. Pamela Renee Nedbalik. Carrie Lynn Pager. Maria Pini. Angela Janet Poff. Kate Marie Pomerleau. Erica Elizabeth Sakowitz. Lisa Ann Semenator. Sapna Shailas Shah. Emily Kate Shanahan. Lindsay Erin Sheridan. Tara Ann Soliotis. Erica Lynn Stone. Aliki Stramenos. Heather Ann Sandikos. Tanya Harpy Vartanian. Jamie Ann Biglione. Christine Rose Wazak. Erica Melissa Willis. Joanne Louise Woods. Gina Lee Barbara Workman. Michael Eric Armstrong. Nathan Jeffrey Bigley. Antonios Bletzis. Michael Patrick Brothers. Edward Ernest Bryan. Christopher John Callahan. Corey John Campbell. David Philip Carey. Luke Henda Chow. Ryan Jonathan Coakley. Michael Edward Curtis. James Jude Daly. Jeremy Ryan Davison. Keith Scott Duane. Jeffrey Benjamin Dubner. Aditya Venkata Somanadha Dwivedula. Patrick Fay. Stephen Thomas Finneral. Jason Paul Fitzgerald. David Crawford Forney. Zachary Richard Gagnon. Jeffrey James Gaudette. Robert Proctor Gordon. Matthew Stephen Gregorio. Armin Michael Heginian. Stephen Emmerich Jacoby. Brandon Scott Keene. Robert Joseph Landry. Shiwan Lee. Dominic Joseph Locapo. Brian Arthur Lochran. Patrick Hughes Long. Scott Edward Lyons. Thomas Mescal. Jeffrey James Metcalf. Christopher Mihalidis. Joseph Norman Morano. Christopher Paul Morris. Chris John Mortzinas. Brian Stephen Murphy. Weevu Nguyen Trivers. Robert William Passidi Jr. Nathan Dennis Pelletier. Nicholas Philip Piergrossi. Timothy James Prey. Joseph Theodore Rogers. Stephen Thomas Saletnik. Zachary Kent Michael Schmaltz. Philip Chase Siebert. Vladislav Shamritsky. Bradford Scott Sullivan. Jeffrey John Traynor. Christopher James Worcester. Nicholas Peter Zeminski. Richard Allen Adams Jr. Jeffrey Philip Albert. Jason Cornell Alberg. Joseph Anthony Amato. Philip Richard Osiello. Charag Baines. Randy Jackson Barrett. William Arthur Bennett. David Joseph Branco. William Edward Bruce. James Joseph Buckland. Craig Devin Burns. Charles Christopher Camaras. Sejin Johnning Chan. Alvin Chen. Anthony Joseph Chiodo. Brendan Donald Conlon. Brian Daniel Coolidge. Peter James Cormier. Daniel Patrick Craig. Eric Robert Dawson. Sean Lewis Delaney. Alan John DeVincent. Howard Owen Fiddy. James Frederick Fraser. Jeffrey Joseph Fucarell. Matthew Paul Galambus. Brian Daniel Goodyew. Stephen Christopher Gordon. Matthew David Holt. Zachary Graham Hoover. George Austin Howe. Matthew David Ingalls. Vishal Narendra Kapadia. Robert Joseph Keller. Brent Michael Kimball. Mark Philip Kolba. Jay Liang. John Robert Lundblad. Charles Richard Mack. Sean Joseph McCarthy. Adam Raymond McCusker. Amit Singh Mathrotra. Jason King Moody. John James Polychrone. Benjamin J. Powers. Scott Prescott. Bradley Allen Reed. Ronald Earl Rich, Jr. Alan Francis Sager. Peter Arthur Santry. William Raymond Sheridan III. Jacob Donald Silva. Brian Douglas Snow. John Walter Sosnowski. William Patrick Sullivan. Michael William Tracy. Laventa Vaga. Eugene Allen Valare, Jr. Patrick James Walsh. Matthew Richard White. Frank Wojas. Jeffrey Richard Waldan. Benjamin Davidson Wright. Neil Gopal Yalabandi. Jared William Alessandroni. Eric Ian Asquith. Brian John Bahia. Darius Francis Bevis. Adam Michael Block. Stephen Ernest Brown. Christopher David Campbell. Matthew Scott Carrata. Richard James Carroll, Jr. Jeffrey Stephen Shemley. Sean Andrew Clancy. Jason Allen Clinton. Philip James Coder. David Scott Daigneault. Nathan William Davis. Matthew Albert de Freitas. David Robert Darima. Brian James Eastwood. Jared Maximilian Eisenman. Joseph Michael Eskenas. Kenneth Clifford Fielding. Todd William Freitas. Brent Elliott Hahn. Daniel Patrick Hart. Carl Putney Held. Thomas Alexander Halvenka. Alex Benjamin Jordan. Michael Judd. Sanjay Kamal Jumani. Henry Keen Ka. Eric Richard Klein. Daniel George Leahy III. James Prescott Leary. Daniel J. Lewis. Thomas J. Lours. Felix Lurie. Timothy Edward Lyons. Andrew Makarovich. Michael Vincent Marino. Barry Richard McCabe. Timothy John Meyer. Roy Joseph Mendonca. Carl Sampson Metz. Scott Philip Moran. Nicholas Ross Morash. Brian Michael Morrison. John Michael Orr. Martin Roger Peel. Dennis Michael Price. Philip Joseph Proul. Michael Stephen Silk. Kevin Richard Snow. Derek G. Moon Suhu. Colby Nicholas Starkey. Eric Michael Sullivan Dyer. Jared Richard Thompson. Scott Michael Trahan. Jeffrey Mark Walsh. Kenneth Peter Walsh Jr. Ching Ham Yang. And last but not least, the president of the class of 1999, Suraj Sandegi Afshar.
Oh, yeah. Class, turn tassel. It is my honor and pleasure to present to you the graduates of CHS class of 1999.